Let me read to you part of a passage from the 14th chapter of St. Luke's Gospel, verses 25 to 33. I won't read the whole passage, just one sentence of it. It's the Gospel for the 23rd Sunday of Ordinary Time. I invite you to read it yourself. St. Luke writes, "Great crowds were travelling with Jesus, and he turned and addressed them. 'Whoever does not carry his own cross and come after me cannot be my disciple.'" What does that suggest to us? Well, the experience of the death of a loved one or an acquaintance is profoundly moving. The deep loss it entails can lead to bitterness, or it can lead to a new and positive beginning. A new clarity as to the purpose of life can come to a person who sees before him the body of the one he has known and loved. If he is blessed with faith, he knows with conviction that all comes from God, and that following death we return to God to be judged on how we have used his gift of life to us. He thinks of the life of the one lying before him, and of the course that person took, and of the choices he made, beginning perhaps in his youth. The course of our life is constituted by the choices we make, and those choices are made each day. They are the bricks that are placed one after the other as the building that is our life and our self is erected. What kind of building is it now that the person's life is over? Is it but dust and ashes? Or in some great and wonderful sense has that person taken with him something that will endure forever as pleasing in the sight of God? It all depends on the choices that were made, and our individual choices will be governed by our goals and our values. If our goals are centered on this life only, our choices will be shaped accordingly. But if we have a vivid awareness that this life is short and that eternity is long, and that eternity will involve either heaven or hell, our choices will be shaped by that all-important consideration. Day by day, one great and unavoidable event is ahead of us, and that is our death and the judgment of God. Following God's judgment, we shall be unendingly happy or unendingly miserable. These great facts loom over the whole of life, and at the center of it is the person of Jesus. He stands at the center of our life day by day, and he holds out to us the key to happiness here on earth and forever hereafter. He has come to offer us the happiness God intends for us. We do not see him physically, but he abides in our midst, risen in the life of the church, inviting us to follow him, and in doing this, to gain our true happiness here on earth and in heaven hereafter. We ought think much of the happiness that Christ came to offer us. It is inextricably bound up with him. Our true happiness is to be found in knowing and loving and following him. At the Last Supper, our Lord said that eternal life consists in knowing the Father and Jesus Christ whom he sent. What then is the happiness he offers the one who knows him, loves him, follows him, lives and finally dies in him? Firstly, it is the happiness of living constantly in the grace of God and with a share in his divine life. Our Lord said to his disciples, "My peace I leave to you. Not the peace the world gives, but my peace I give you." In all the joys and sorrows of life, the Christian knows he has the greatest possession of all, and that no one can take from him, and that is God. It is above all this which our Lord brings, and with it the happiness that possessing God confers. In sickness or in health, in good times and in bad, in life and in death, living in union with Jesus brings the happiness of having God and knowing that we belong to him. But then, the one who lives in Jesus has the joy of knowing that, provided he perseveres in following our Lord as his disciple in the life of the church, heaven also awaits him. We ought often think of heaven. It is the prize that can spur us on to follow Christ closely. The thought of living forever with God in heaven can nourish a great desire to bear the cross of Christ with him each day, to accept the sufferings that are part and parcel of doing the will of God in our everyday life, and to die with Christ daily. Our Lord tells us that if we aspire to be his disciples, and so enter into glory with him, we must carry our cross and come after him. He goes on to say that we must sit down and count the cost. "Which of you wishing to construct a tower," he says, "does not first sit down and calculate the cost, to see if there is enough for its completion?" And again he says, "Or what king marching into battle would not first sit down and decide whether with 10,000 troops he can successfully oppose another king advancing upon him with 20,000 troops?" And what is the cost? Our Lord is very clear. "In the same way, any one of you who does not renounce all his possessions cannot be my disciple." Renouncing all our possessions means giving our whole heart to Christ. It means striving to love him with all our strength and disentangling our heart from all that is not connected with him. We love our work, we love our family, we love the interests that God may have given us, but only inasmuch as they are in him. It is in him that our true happiness lies, and we shall only be truly happy if everything that makes up our life is connected with him. He is the love of the Christian, and love for Christ is to exceed any other love. Were any other love to claim our heart in place of Jesus, that possession, as we might call it, is to be renounced. Christ is the path to our true happiness, both here and hereafter. Let us then resolve, for love of Jesus, to follow in his footsteps daily, taking up our cross and accompanying him. If we live in him, we shall die in him. And if we die in him, we shall reign forever in heaven with him.